Well, good evening and welcome to the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve in Plano, Texas. Tonight's exercise is a field test of the TEX20 Rapid Deployment Bag. Now, you saw this in the first video of this series, and I showed how it could be attached to the TEX20 backpack. The first question people may have is, well, how can it be run standalone? So if you remember those elongated D-rings from the first video, we can attach a strap here, clips in here, and now you have a sling bag. You have storage here. I've got a flashlight there, and you can adjust tension here with additional capability to clip on other gear. Now, I've got this fairly loaded out, but I'm not using the entire capability of the bag. I have a third-party water bottle holder attached on the left. You've got molly straps, or loops rather, along each side, none on the bottom. You have three primary storage compartments, a generous area in the back, a relatively thin area here in the middle, and then you have two sets of front pouches. I'm going to go over some of the gear I have loaded at the end of the exercise. That will actually be easier. This is running not quite 7 pounds. I've got a schmog and a rain poncho attached up here. What I'm going to do is take it out. You know the drill. I'm going to carry it for at least 2 to 2.5 hours. This will be part of a two-piece kit. I'm going to have to see how this gear works with my normal chest rig. I should probably know within 1 to 2 hours whether or not this whole setup really works well or not. And then at the end of the exercise, of course, we're going to do a day to night transition, and I'll sit down and go over some of the gear that I have loaded. All right, I'm kitted out and ready to get started. I'm going to be wearing the SAR bump helmet and my primary SAR headlamp tonight, and I've got start time marked. We are ready to go. So it's been about 12 minutes. So far, so good. Extremely humid, just showing you a little bit of the scenery and where I'm headed out right now. And this is why I preach situational awareness day and night. He could sit there for a very long time. And there are a lot of people who walk out here with no light whatsoever, and folks are just asking for it. Going to give him a very wide berth. Okay, there is our time update. A couple of observations so far. The number one thing I always worry about with a sling pack is slippage in this strap. And this comes from manipulating the arm over whichever shoulder you're carrying, which is my right, and then slippage of the pack itself. Now, one of the benefits of having this schmog right here is this provides a little extra contact at the small of my back, and so it prohibits horizontal shifting of the pack. That means when I'm taking a normal gait over relatively groomed terrain, I don't really notice any slippage. However, this is very thin material, so as soon as I move my right arm up to chest level or higher, this will slip back naturally towards my neck. That's something you want to think about. I would really like to see NEXTORCH, if they did a second generation of these accessories, manufacture this strap along the lines of the backpack strap. Not as thick, not as padded, but something that's going to stay well seated on the shoulder. I have a relatively short, stocky build, so to get this to fit well, I have to have it pretty short in terms of length of this strap. So one of the other things I've noticed, and this depends on how you load out as to whether or not it's relevant, if you're wearing a bump helmet like I am tonight, you're going to want to take the helmet off before removing the pack. Another alternative is to try and reach around and unclip. Here that would take a little bit of practice. Since this is on my left side and helps balance the pistol weight, this does sit low enough that's very easy to reach back and one hand my water. Okay, so those are my observations so far. Time to get the pack back on and keep going. Yes, they're everywhere. This is the biggest one I've seen so far tonight. That's why you want to be careful where you sit. Yeah, there he goes. Time update. I'm taking a brief break at the observation tower. You see that I've got the bag slung around to my left here. It's working very well in tandem with my normal chest rig. Nothing new to report. I'm going to head on back now and then I'll do a summary. Final mission time. Overall, I think it carried reasonably well for a sling bag. I don't typically use sling bags. This is something I'd probably only personally use when I was loading out for something that was very short and I wanted to go from light to ultralight. Maybe I had to haul a camera rig around with me. So here's just some of the stuff I'm carrying tonight. This is the back pocket. You have loops down here. You can see I have a flashlight and power bank there. Backup headlamp, med gear. This is going to be mostly med and survival gear. This is a portable med pack I put together. This is a second one. I've got my halo seal here, burn dressing, more gauze in this compartment. Then as we move to the front compartments here, I've got gloves, some more miscellaneous gear in here, and then this velcros up. I haven't even used this area, so I'm not even completely using the full capability of this bag. Even when I load all my gear back in here, I've still got room to put food in, for example. So I hope that that gives you some idea of what you can do with this rapid deployment bag in a standalone context, in addition to the ability to also load it onto the TEX20 backpack. Well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight, and as always, until the next review, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.